What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Hamatora episode 5. And this episode, not only was it the weirdest episode in this series so far, but it is also one of the weirdest episodes in any anime that I have ever seen. This episode, it was just so freaky, so creepy. But overall, it was definitely a good episode, a good solid episode. It wasn't anything spectacular or outstanding, but it was definitely pretty solid. I'll give it that. So the episode starts off with Hajime. She playing this game here, and she actually wants to win the prize that are the burgers. She is so happy for that, or so excited, and so she goes for that. But not only does she not win that, but she actually wins the best prize that you possibly get, which is overnight stay at a spa. And so, of course, we go back to the Hamatora base, and we see that on the news right now, they are talking about the prince. But more importantly, we go to Honey, who's like making all these excuses about why she's going on this spa trip. And Three was just saying, why can't she just admit it? So we have Birthday, who was actually, flirting with Honey. And he said that it's been over a year, since they last seen each other, but she has not changed at all. So I do wonder, why was she gone for a year, but at least now she's back. And it was definitely funny, how they're going back and forth. I definitely like, how Three is kind of like so overprotective, and he actually listens to Honey. Because when Honey, told Three to like break him in half, he was actually doing it. But of course, it was more of a joking way to actually being serious, even though he did look serious. But Raito here, he actually got this call for a job. But we go to Murasaki and Nice, as they're also on a job right now at this pretty expensive looking place. And so this woman here, she was definitely like creepy, but she actually wanted Nice and Murasaki to go spy on her boyfriend. And when Nice asked her, who all the other guys she had as well, she was saying that these guys were also her boyfriend. So they were actually, going to turn this job down and leave. But when she mentioned that this job was actually going to be at a spa, that right there was enough to convince them to take this job. And so now that they went on there, we see that not only are the girls here as well, but we have some returning characters who are Ray and Theo. And these are characters that we have not seen since the first episode, no, since the second episode. So it has been some time since we've seen them, but it is nice that they're back though. But we also cut to Art and his partner, and they were in this convenience store, and his partner here was asking him how his progress finding Mora was going. And we see that there is some guy that actually comes in there, and he's still a magazine. But we have our partner, not sure of his name just yet, because I don't think that they really said it. But when they do, I would definitely learn it. But he easily took down this guy, and he said that, he looked really familiar. And we see that the magazine that he stole, it was like, where are they now? So it was talking about, famous celebrities. But once they were at the spa, we see that all these cars are now pulling up, and we have like these thugs invading. But not only that, it turns out that all these men that are invading, they're like gay because they don't want anything to do with the women. And they actually plan on letting them all go. But when they went to the boy side, you just saw these two men kind of like freaking out about them now. So it was definitely odd. And I definitely like how the girls here, especially Honey, she actually got really upset that, that these men wanted nothing to do with her. And so when they finally, tracked down the mastermind here, who was the guy that Murasaki and Nice are actually supposed to be watching, we learned that he actually has a pretty weird minimum, because it allows his sweat to like mix with this fog or mist, and basically anybody that breathes in this fog, they basically fall for him and fall under his control. I believe it was called the seduction minimum. But it turns out that his power, it only works on men, because later on he stated that it does not work on women. And sadly, Birthday and Raito, they have failed. They fell for a charm, and it got kind of weird there. But luckily, Murasaki and Nice, they had carried them out of there. And of course, Three was there because he came there to watch over Honey, and he was trying to relax, even though he definitely did not look like he was relaxing at all. And so we find out that Honey, Three, and Koniko, they all stayed behind, and basically what's the name? Hajime. That's right. Hajime had wanted to go out there and take out these men, because if she did not, then she would not get this deluxe dinner that she was so excited for. Because earlier we saw that when she was standing at her coupon, she was actually drooling over it. So she was really looking forward to that dinner. And so we see that, you know, one guy was there, but it looked like he was kind of falling asleep. And so we see that Hajime actually used her power for the first time. And even though, you know, it's kind of confusing, it's very similar to Knight's abilities. And so she like swallows some gum or something, and her power activates, and it's like this wave of like wind or something. It just forces this guy to go flying back. And so Koniko, she was saying that like Nice can barely stand up to her. So even though Nice, you know, is the number one graduate from that academy, Hajime, she might actually be number 3, and that right there would make sense because her and Nice do hang out, and Nice definitely cares about her. So that would make sense. I had no idea that Hajime would be so powerful, but I'm definitely not complaining about that. I actually like that actually. But now we have Honey, who looked into the future, you know, with her minimum, and all she saw was like these guys, you know, just praising their muscles, and that right there was like definitely creepy, and even she was like definitely creeped out about that. So even though, you know, these guys were definitely weird, it still had a lot of comedy in it. And so when the girls like finally confront this guy, because all this time he actually wanted to like find this prince, because we learned that him and Japan, they're actually really close, and every time he comes here, he actually sneaks off to the spot that they're in now. But he only does that without his guards, because Nice was saying that, you know, it's kind of hard to relax when he has all those bodyguards around him. But this guy they were like looking for, I believe they were like Masur, not sure if that was the name or not, but he actually found him, and he used his minimum to make this prince fall for him. And so basically what he wanted to do, he actually looked up to this idol that was actually involved with the woman that was his girlfriend. But clearly, you know, this guy is not straight, he is gay. That right there is obvious. He only slept with this woman so that he could steal her money, so that, you know, he could fund this operation of his, because basically he had loved this idol so much and looked up to him. He had wanted to see him back on top, because this idol, you know, he kind of fell from grace when he got thrown into this scandal. And I believe it was like in an 18-person relationship, and when that got exposed, you know, his career, it just went downhill. And because he's so popular, nobody will hire him and give him a job. So basically, you know, he had to resort to crime because of all the stress he was under. But now this guy wanted to help him out and help put him on top, so that's why he was going to use this prince. And while controlling the prince, he was going to tell Japan, you know, to let this guy have a job and be an idol again, and that right there, you know, really would have helped him out. But luckily, you know, the girls were going to stop him, but before they could, because obviously we learned that his powers, they don't work on girls, so he had to resort to this other, you know, kind of way to defeat them. And we see that, you know, he actually sprays like some kind of goo or something. I think it was like oil, like all over the ground, because the girl was saying that, you know, it was very sticky. But we have all these men that were like sliding on it, and they were actually aiming to take out everybody. And even though it was working, because this guy was able to escape with the prince, Hajime definitely was not going to let that happen. She actually jumps on one of the guys and starts stripping him out of there. And of course, you know, when she reaches the stairs, she jumps off, and the guy, you know, slides into a pillar. So when the guy goes to the roof, he actually admitted to doing a crime and everything. And you see that he was actually about to jump off, but Hajime actually saved him. And it's not like she cared about the guy, because really she did not care at all. She did not give a rat ass about this guy. She actually wanted that coupon for the dinner. That right there is what she wanted, and that's the only reason why she saved him. But now, you know, the art partner, he actually showed a picture of the guy that was like doing all this, and he was saying that, you know, he still has some fans out there, and these idols should like still be living up to his fans no matter what. But then we go to our partner once again, and he's actually talking to a scientist. And so we learn that, you know, these minimum holders, their brains cannot actually be removed, or it's like these non-holders. I think it was like, you know, once they get the power, their brain cannot be removed. So now I'm like kind of confused, because they were saying that the guy that Murad killed in last episode, they said that his head, I mean that his brain, it was removed. So what exactly did Murad take from him? Because I definitely know that he took something, but what was it exactly? Like that right there, I'm really curious about. But now we see that our partner, he actually killed a scientist. So him and Morale are definitely partners. And to be honest, I definitely did not see that coming. I had no idea that this guy would actually turn out to be, you know, to be evil. But like I said, this episode, it was definitely alright. It was very solid. Even though it was weird, it was a solid episode. But as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And you guys take it easy. I'll see you all next time.